Welcome to our channel on near-death experiences, NDEs. We'll explore stories of people who've been on the brink between life and death, returning with new perspectives. These accounts offer a unique glimpse into existence, life's meaning, and the universe. Each video is a journey through transformative experiences and spiritual discovery. We're creating a space of understanding and sharing for these extraordinary stories. Whether you're here out of curiosity or seeking comfort, we hope to bring you peace and awareness. Join us on this journey of spiritual exploration. Every moment is an opportunity to grow and love. Thank you for being here with us.
At 28, I found myself in a difficult situation. Single, living in Texas with my younger sister, plagued by depression and alcoholism. My life seemed to lack direction and purpose, and I had completely forgotten an extraordinary experience I had at the age of 3. On that occasion, a sphere of white golden light appeared in my bedroom, communicating with me telepathically. It revealed that I would have an important task to fulfill towards the end of my life, although I couldn't remember the specific details. I recall responding that the task seemed beyond my capabilities, to which the light reassured me, saying I would grow to be able to accomplish it. The luminous presence emanated a sense of sweetness, warmth, love, supreme intelligence, and intrinsic goodness. So, at 28, having lost my way and forgotten that illuminating experience, my most ambitious goal was simply to marry a man wealthy enough to solve all my problems. One day, returning home exhausted from work, I lay down on the bed in a deep state of depression. I decided to abandon myself completely, forgetting the world around me. Almost immediately, I had the sensation of falling into myself, as if I were imploding. The experience was accompanied by a feeling of speed, similar to that of a sled descent, with a hissing sound. I fell rapidly through a tunnel of blue, silky light. At the end of the tunnel, I found myself in a clearing with a sort of blue sac at its center. This structure, organic in nature and oblong in shape, contained a child, similar to a placenta. Flying, I found myself hovering above this sac. At that moment, I acquired a four-dimensional understanding, a knowledge that went beyond words. From the top of the sack emerged a dense and snappy knowledge, similar to popcorn popping out of a pan. I tried to grasp some of these entities to better describe and remember them, but they were too numerous and elusive. I understood that what I had discovered was the total sum of all knowledge and wisdom of all people from all eras, past, present, and future. All wisdom emanated from this source of collective knowledge, and everything we learn flows into it to be made available to everyone. Leaving the sack, I found myself above our planet. From that perspective, I could see the curvature of the horizon, the colors and shapes of seas and continents. I was not just in space but also above time. I observed the evolution of peoples and the physiognomy of ideas that were shaping history. For each historical period, I experienced a total feeling, which included music, architecture, costumes, political thoughts, and literature. It was like a vast march of peoples from different eras and worldviews, all operating simultaneously. The image that came to mind was that of a gigantic mechanism where one could observe the functioning of all the gears, pulleys, and connections. From the surface, normally we see none of this, but by removing the cover, everything becomes visible. When the vision faded, I understood that we were all interconnected like climbers tied to each other. If one falls, they drag the others with them, but if they climb, they help others climb. We were all in the same boat. I realized that the seemingly empty space between us is not really empty. We were like marbles wrapped in a glass cloth. You can't see the glass, but you see the marbles, and it's the glass that holds them together. We are held together by an invisible substance that surrounds us and is between us, real even if we cannot see it. I realized that life on this planet was not a random process, but part of a gigantic plan. However, this plan is of an immeasurable scale for us. Our minds are too limited to comprehend it fully. I was shown a sphere that appeared convoluted, as if it contained all surfaces. 4 years after this experience, I sought someone who could explain it to me. Years later, I met a physicist who told me that what I had seen was probably a Mobius solid. He explained that theoretical mathematics has shown that a Mobius solid could exist, but that it would not be possible to reproduce one in a three-dimensional realm. I told him I had seen one, but he shook his head in disbelief. During my experience, I was told that all time is now, and all space is here. I believe there was more in the central part of my experience, but that it will only be revealed to me at the right time. I returned from this viewpoint inside that beautiful blue light. I entered it from the right, frontally, with a slight angle towards the center. In front of me was a group of essences of peoples. These essences were like drops of water in a bucket of water, individual yet part of a collective. They were arranged in a triangular shape, with the apex of the triangle facing me. One essence was slightly prominent compared to the others, and seemed to communicate on behalf of the group, without having authority over them. As I approached, I realized that this group knew me much better than I had ever known myself. They accepted me without exception and loved me completely. The love they emanated poured over me in waves, and it was so pure and strong that I struggled to tolerate it. I understood that I was one of them and that I always would be. The slightly more prominent essence communicated with my heart and mind, telling me that I couldn't stay and that I had to return. The presence seemed masculine, although I couldn't identify it with any specific spiritual figure. I begged not to be rejected, but I was firmly told that there was a task I had to perform. They assured me that they would remain there for me and that I could return once I had completed my work. Instantly, I found myself back in my bed, deeply resentful of being here again. For weeks I was furious, but eventually decided to accept the situation and carry out whatever task I had been assigned. This NDE changed my life, leading me to make numerous changes in my existence. I abandoned some bad habits and began a significant spiritual journey that led me to many interesting places. Since 1973, I have had visions that revealed to me what would happen in the years between 1990 and 1999. I have offered my availability to assist in research on these phenomena, in any way possible.
If you enjoyed this video or you're interested in the topics we cover on this channel, I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. Share the video with someone you think might appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Preface: near-death experiences, NDEs, can be profound, life-changing events. Remember, NDEs are subjective experiences, not proof of an afterlife or a guide for living. Channel purpose: this channel shares NDE stories and information, providing a platform for open discussion without promoting specific beliefs. Disclaimer: this content doesn't replace professional medical or psychological advice. If struggling with mental health issues, seek professional help immediately. If you've had an NDE and need support, consult a therapist experienced with NDEs. We don't promote suicide or self-harm. If considering suicide, contact a prevention lifeline immediately. Suicide prevention resources: National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Crisis text line, text HOME to 741741. Conclusion: we hope you find this channel informative. For questions, please contact us. Remember, suicide prevention is crucial. If you're struggling, seek help. You're not alone.